Hey everybody, this is Alan. So, back in March, Apple dropped the MacBook Neo, and it's coming out as a $600 laptop that is powered by the iPhone chip, 8 gigs of RAM, completely fanless and silent. So, one question I had was, how many games and what type of games could you make on this? Can you make 2D games? Is a question that I wanted to answer. So, I grabbed the Corgi engine. This is the Corgi engine running right now in the editor. Let's see how it works. So first, if you're not familiar with the Corgi engine is a 2D and 2.5D platformer that's made by More Mountains. Normally it's $75 on the asset store, but there's a spring sale going on right now. So if you wanted to get it, it's actually 50% off right now until May 7th, which only makes it $37.50 USD. So if you're sitting on the fence, I would say that's your sign to go ahead and grab it. The link is in the description. Just some information about that package is that it does run on the latest version of Unity 6, built-in URP and HDRP support, but we're only going to be looking at the 2D demos. One thing to consider is that this does come with 50 pre-built demo levels. So honestly, what we're going to do is we're going to stack this against the Neo and see if this machine can actually handle a production weight Unity project. So I imported the package from the asset store, and it took about 90 seconds or so to import the entire package, which it's about 300 megs. There's a lot of scripts, a lot of assets. So, no complaints there. I think that's actually pretty good considering the power of the MacBook Neo. Now, one thing I did was I went through each one of the demo scenes, hit play, and played through them. And overall, everything was smooth. There was no lag, and the editor seemed to run really clean when I was skipping around the scenes and looking at the actual scene view, even while the game was running and we were doing some testing. So the thing that I noticed was that even when bigger demo scenes were running, you could have full parallax backgrounds running, you'd have multiple enemies running around, particle effects firing off, and at no point did the Neo seem to struggle. You can also see that when I bring up the activity monitor that we're hitting some swap, but it's really not making the Neo struggle. So you are hitting the RAM ceiling, but if you're just doing this development, just keeping everything closed, I know that's kind of like maybe not ideal, but using this with Unity, with the actual Corgi engine, or in general any 2D game development, I really feel like you're going to find great success and it's going to work extremely, extremely well for you. Can that MacBook Neo handle 2D game development? Yes. Can it handle with the Corgi engine? Yes, absolutely yes. So for 2D platformer work, which I used Corgi for some other clients before in the past, this machine is more than capable. Like, I would have no problems using this as a development machine to single-handedly just knock out some game development projects. One thing to remember is that A18 Pro chip does benchmark close to an M3 in single core tasks, which is really where Unity game dev does shine. So that's not going to be the problem. You will feel the ceiling of 8 gigs of RAM depending on how and what you're running. So just make sure, close things down when you're running things. But overall, I truly believe that this MacBook Neo is going to be great for 2D game development. So, with all that being said, I really do feel like the MacBook Neo is an excellent value for students. Considering with the education pricing that it's $499, I really feel like it's a ridiculous value for what you get. I also feel like for a full-time developer or somebody who just wants to make games, the MacBook Neo is more than capable and it's an extremely lightweight machine. So I highly, highly recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Also, please subscribe, and I'm looking for the next one. Thanks, everyone. Bye.